this is neither here nor there really, but I put on lipstick like my mother. And so it always goes like this and then it falls off, right? And I see it right there. And I don't want it to get on little myself and get on Agape or little Randall. So all this started, well, of course, due to October 2020 and beyond of me checking the doors, well, seemingly obsessively because of everything that happened in those, well, hotels and motels in, well, I always said I defined it as Alaska, but really here too, before I got sober. Now, when I went home to my condo up the street at the Regency Towers, I checked it, but not really, because, well, we had our gates, and we had our concierge, and then the elevator, so it was layers of seeming protection, and then, of course, the elevator and up there. But what I always did, and probably people heard me, is when I rearranged everything too, I would check my purse or fanny pack, the North Face one, a lot to see if my driver's license and everything was in there. And I always did it, medical marijuana or not, at night, again, before I went to bed. And I would get up in bed and check again if Scott Centers was in, well, our unit or his or not. So thank you. Happy Sunday. And it's Happy Athens birthday eve. He'll be 3 tomorrow. Good job. So none of this is funny, and I'll keep our names anonymous. This is my new friend, and I don't know if it was his fault or not. I wasn't there. His left eye is busted here. Now, my ex-husband, George, in, well, Athens, Greece, beat the F out of me. I don't talk like that. So, and it was really bad. I went to a hospital. Now we have public and private hospitals in Greece, and a good doctor is a good one, and a bad unethical one is a bad one. So they stitched me up pretty bad, and I was drunk. I don't really remember. But an ex-friend from Marin County, she sent me Mederma in the mail, so I put it on, and I think some Rottweiler bit her really bad or something in Marin County. So should you get some Mederma? I have some at the Regency Towers. Now, I bought some in the last couple of years, and I was using it sometimes, but it was all dried out. Do you have anything to say? None of this is funny.
No.
Okay.
No, maybe actually find out.
No, well, the gel.
That's what we're talking about.
Well, I wanted to pay my respects to the owner of Busy Bee Laundromat because I love it. And they said they were here on the weekend, so I'm going to call the phone number, but I think that's a landline. I just wanted to meet the owner for my appreciation on this Sunday. So according to, well, local, illegal, copying my everything, we're going to have a lot of traffic, or we already do, because EDC 2026 premieres, I think it's southern Las Vegas. So these streets right here, of course, Ogden was all blocked off yesterday, and on and on. It's all about those good angles. I just washed my hair, so it's pretty pin straight, but thick a little bit. Because I've curled it and put bleach in it. But, and this keeps on recording, there is a part of me that feels bad for Scott Centers. How he could do all this, that's Scott Randall Centers. How he could dedicate his life to all of this. So if I do search his name in Google and I see a picture, because I know his personality so well, because, well, we've been together over 11 years. Like I've been saying, like, what happened to him? But then I get somber and sober in the Old English Dictionary version of the definition real fast. And as I've said, most people do know where I'm going right now, right? So this is from Mayor Shelley Berkeley of the city of Las Vegas. It all starts local. Local matters, right? It's all about, well, everything. Juxtaposition. That can be your new word. All Athens, all the time. I have successfully made it to our downtown Chase Bank branch Trapeza in Greek under the auspices of City of Las Vegas Mayor Shelley Berkeley. Need I say more? Do I? And they want to probably go home. It's the end of the business financial banking work week, at least in the New York Stock Exchange. Now that ended 3 hours ago. So that went really well. And there's a lot of people I like in there. And I'm not going to get with respect our security officer in here. I'm not going to. But then there was this gentleman right over here, and they all want me to put them in. So he was saying that he heard noises and ringing in his head. And I made a joke in jest. Oh, are you here for the EDC, Electric Daisy Concert Festival, and maybe you need a welfare check or go to a psych ward? And it's not funny. Some people do need psych wards, and I really needed rehab, right? And they love it. They just want to be in my videos. Did you see me in the video, True, and the whole thing? And it's after 5 p.m. now, and people have their own lives outside of work. And not that they have to clean up, but they do, right? Organize all their, with respect, financial paperwork to get ready for Monday. And the guy had his left hand in his pocket. What is he going to pull out? A BB gun that's really a Glock right here in Vegas? Good thing I get out, too. Nothing good happens at dark or night for some of us. Everybody, happy flying, happy walking, happy driving, happy boating, happy subwaying, happy taxiing, Uber, and driverless cars, right? What if there's a natural disaster or we lose electricity? What if you're effed up and you try to drive the car because you're getting one of those so you don't drive effed up? No one's like another one. It's plain to see. Lil Randall's the best. We know. I don't need to get into it. Like, I went in there not doing that well, skinnier and everything. I knew Lil Randall wasn't in there. And why stop now? Some of us, real ones, whatever your genre, but I'll keep it to microphones and news and audio, we sound the same. I sound the same as I always do, right? Whatever I'm saying, my diction, tone, everything, right? So, for example, Ice Cube's songs may sound the same, but not exactly with the same beat. And then, of course, well, if you're a real multimedia TV journalist and more, the elements, you know, wind, rain, snow, heat, right? Live to tape, tape to live, and the whole thing. What's my security? Myself, I guess, right now. Who's my number one? Myself first, right? If I'm not at my be best, how can Happy in Kalamata, Agape, Lil Randall, and I be at our be best? And all that self-love stuff. If you secretly hate yourself, who are you going to attract? Attraction rather than promotion, or is it promotion rather than attraction? And I always take pictures like this with Agape too. Even when she was in her last few days of life, I got one holding her. See, I'm stripped, right? So if somebody tries to kill me, I guess, want a bike or an e-motor, moped, whatever, I can see it. Very funny. I have these with Happy too around here. Now I vaped when I was at Resolutions owned by American Addiction Centers in Desert Oak. They were really a nice place. And Agape and I came, I'm sure I came on my bike too. They let me bring my bike in and with the stroller. And I got vape in here. Vapes, I think, and it was the same. And if they want me to turn this off, they had that too, and they had a nice dog back there. And I'll turn this off. I used to come in here, and they were really, no, seriously. I don't want to, the reason I don't want to vape anymore is because then I would vape even more. You owned this store 10 years ago? I never bought anything from him, and I never will. I don't need to copy anybody else. I can move my, arms and armpits after getting beat up, really the beat down on October 25th, 2025. It was a Saturday before Halloween. And I learned a lot too. And I watched Unpredictable Finishes by, Doreen Lorenz and these bad editors. And she wrote most of it, and she wanted me to be on it, and it was on ABC. I watched that before I got beat up at your Motel 6 to Suite 6, 195 East Tropicana, Cross Street, Koval Lane. And I called 911. And the remote intaker kept asking me, it was two men, one on a bike, they had White Claw, it beat me up, pushed me on the street, my glasses fell off, and I didn't break a nail. The bad glasses. So White Claw was all over me. Now I wouldn't ever drink a White Claw because it wouldn't mess me up. So they would have, so I called 911 and I kept going on Koval Lane West. And so, I guess the Luxor was to my right, and the last place Mariah Carey had a concert that I went to, it wasn't a holiday or Christmas concert. So she was female, and she kept saying, well, what color are the men? I said, I don't know. You know, what am I going to say? I said, tanner, but I'm more tan. And she kept asking me all these questions, and it was really, really bad. Then she said something like, but I said, is this call being recorded? She said, yes. And then I hung up. But I still wanted to go on my walk, just like a box, right? Back to my Motel 6. And Agape was in there too. So then, right when I passed, well, a block, not even a block, there was all these LVMPD police officers, and it was one of those, I think, hot rod auto shows. But that it's not like LVMPD, all the officers are waiting for my 911 call right there. So I did call 911 3 times, but only 2 matter. At the Regency Towers, that's 25D. Escobar Appliances, warning, you are being recorded on video. I know, everywhere. I just washed my hair though. Should I flat iron it or get a hot curling rod? And now I heard people do stuff with that too. I don't. Are they going to EDC or where are they going? Oh yeah, Heavy D and the boys. Let's all jump ship. In addition, I do not look good masculine. Okay, I just don't. Some people do, male or female. I don't. And I don't really know anybody that does, really. So, we don't see things as they are. We see things as we are. And you see things as me are. And we're getting to the Wells Fargo here. So I can just talk about that now. So, for months, starting in, I think, August or September, Wells Fargo, via Scott Centers and all of them, well, last summer I noticed at 7-Eleven there was these charges here and there for $1, $2 more. It just didn't add up to what I was buying, which would be, well, Marlboro Reds, Backwoods for medical marijuana, and a soda, and that's pretty much it, and candy. So then, all that stuff happened. I have many videos about that. Wasn't looking that good. I only took out cash for months. And I went every couple days to check my balance. Hilton Garden Inn sold $278 and some change, approximately over $275 and so much more. So I come in here and I've used rolling Agape in her stroller and with Class C vehicles, you know, when you drive up and get the money. So I end up in here and I was going to wait till Monday, which brings us to the 22nd. And of course, Wells Fargo and all American banks are closed on Christmas. And they said they were open on Christmas Eve, but they closed till noon. So I was gonna wait till Monday, but then it all ended up working out on Monday anyways. So I came in here, okay, Saturday, December 20th. And they said, one of the tellers said, they didn't want to do banking with me anymore, right? And they were gonna mail, all my money was in there. I couldn't get it out, but they were gonna mail all 3 of my checking, personal, business, and savings account to my permanent residence at the RT25D. Okay, so then Scott Centers would have really stolen it, but he's not been there, USPS. So there was Angelique that worked in it. So I got in the line, I was calmer, and Angelique was there, and she was, well, more like me, a fiery, if you have passion in your culture. Now, not every Greek has passion and or kefi. So I got most of my checking out. And then I went on Monday, I drove pretty early in our Jeep. And of course, my Clark County Press parking passes were still valid pass on the back to my home branch on Maryland, right after Desert Inn, DI, on the west side. And I got all of my money out. Now, during that time, over the weekend, I went to my favorite Albertsons here in the Western Union, and I got out enough money to pay 2 months rent for, I'll keep it anonymous, my rental unit, unit 34. And so then I thought, because I called or texted my Tabitha Johnson, my lifelong therapist, should I take the money home or try to go to Chase Bank? Because it was really from Desert Inn, then it's on, the east side on Maryland to Sahara. And I got it in. And now look what he's doing. Loomis. There's good Loomis people. Are you the only Loomis? Do you also, dump off money or loot at Chase and other banks, or just Wells Fargo? right? Just Wells Fargo. Now, obviously, I've had this since 1997 as my first job as a bus boy. They called me Lightning or Bus Bitch. You could say bitch is a female dog at 15 or 16, I have it written down, because my mother grounded me that summer in Marin County, my second summer there, until I got a job. I could only leave the house to look for a job. And I'm glad I did. And then, of course, they don't have Chase in Alaska, okay? So Dave German, who was one of Scott's cronies, he's African-American. Scott wasn't there my first couple weeks. He was out of town like he always is in Seattle with his horses or his boyfriend or whoever, his husband. Okay, so he drives me there on a Saturday to reopen Wells Fargo, which I did, but my card, my original card that I still have, I think, I still have it. I don't know, doesn't matter now. It says customer since 1997. Why are you stalking me? Why are you doing this? What's your name? So I've come to this one primarily I go to with, well, both of my dogs. And who knows? One of the times I drove to Alabama or Florida one time, I could have stopped here for money. I'm not going to spend all my time doing this, but I said this before. On one of our civilian standbys, excuse me, I need some water. All these people have water, nobody will give me any for free or anything. I learned more about what's legal and what's not illegal from a good, I believe, LVMPD police officer. He was a male. It's not seemingly illegal to do this, kind of. Who's your boss? And these people try so hard to be hot on socials. Take a billion, a gazillion, or not. Am I one of two favorite lawyers for life? That would be in this order: Ross Goodman Esquire and Miracle Mike Moberly. Respectfully, from Las Vegas and Nevada. Throw Michelle Nesbitt in there. She tried her best. So did her husband. He's now a judge, David Nesbitt. And Nesbitt Courthouse is named after, well, Alaska royalty, which would be David Nesbitt's grandfather. What was I saying? Oh, months ago when I was staying at the Hilton Garden Inn with the Agape, Miracle Mike told me, you know, if he didn't know me in the situation, not quoting him or me exactly, and I walked or called into his law office, he wouldn't represent me. Times have changed. Not to bring Glorilla into this, aka Gloria Hallelujah Woods, but she got locked up for seemingly fake DUI. Now, I love her song, and I would improvise and say, I will not go eat jail food. And I listen to that a lot. In Fayette, Alabama, driving back here. What was I going to say? I guess that's pretty much it. I was going to say something else. So good job, Cummins, Forsyth County, Georgia. So I'm at one of my favorite places ever. So there's this darker person than me, I think it was a woman, videotaping me, and I said, you're so ugly, illegally putting that on your social medias. Do you want my autograph? It's Maria Athens never sent hers. And he's going to prison, Scott Randall Centers. Just probably not today, because it's a Sunday. Taking care of business. I love this song. I think also, well, we work together, but not at the same time. She likes the song too. And they took my EBT card and other things. And I can be putting my own driver's license on social media. So I don't say mani-pedis, but I did do that sometimes in New York City because, well, it's oversaturated, so it's cheaper, right? And then I got to Alaska and it was over $100 to do nails. And collectively, some of us who look good in nails at our job in the same field, we couldn't afford it. So, but a lot of times, and up until, well, recent times, about 10 months ago, I would just paint my toenails. Now, one time I was supported and my ex would pay for it, the gel on my toes, but I walk a lot and it hurt my toes when I was walking, so I don't know. So then he put, and his team put poisons in my nail polish, which is why I have those toenail seminars online and on news. And I like white, like I always said, and people said it looked like whiteout. So a lot of times my toes wouldn't match my nail color, but the colors matched. Oh, sorry. I don't want to buy it. I'm never going to put toenail polish on my toes again. And that looks even grosser. I just can't. And of course they're not going to stop. They have no moral or ethical or, that they're criminal compass. So they've got, the low bottoms in here. I don't know how old they are, right? To whatever females in a Tupac shirt saying they want creamy banana pudding and all this stuff, right? So we've got all this different olive oil. Am I going to get on the bus today and go to one of my 2 favorite international grocery stores and go get olive oil, right? Are you a vegan? Are you a vegan? And all this stuff. I heard that even when I wasn't too skinny. No, I'm a full fat vegetarian. Am I a hypocrite too? Of course. Like if someone makes me some vegetarian soup at their home, am I going to ask them, did you use chicken stock, right? We're all just so perfect. So we've got it all here. Extra virgin, organic. What does that even mean? And of course, in Will Scott Center's, my amateur hour, can you hear me? Fresco, Vice, HBO, Fox, ABC, CW before Newsnet, right? And some woman who thinks she's a hipster, trendy. What does she think? She's from Lower Manhattan with her eyes all something like along the lines of, sure, 72 virgins sounds nice, but at the end of the day, don't you want a pro? Yeah, I'm going to get off on taking somebody's virginity, not me. I mean, the whole thing, right? AA is a selfish program. Put yourself first. Think of others. Don't live in your ego. What about the good non-Christians that are trying to get sober through AA? We all have to read the American Bible. What virgin or version? Also, in addition, as always, I've read and learned in my father's homeland, motherland, the Hazos sell Greek olive oil to Italy. They repackage it and say it's product of Italy. Good job, Greece. And I'm not perfect either. And China owns all of our ports. Pidea. And more. Just like America, not really. It's a different country, right? So I've been here 3 times, and I remembered before I left that I have $3 left. So I categorized myself in the Papa Pita or Pita Papa. Bread, is it Greek, is it not? It doesn't really matter. Is this going to let me, because I have about $3, and this beautiful employee here, I'm not kissing anything.
You're fine.
Okay, so she said that there's no tax on it, so I don't know.
No tax on food in Nevada.
Oh, so snap. And they took my card illegally, so let's... And you can't combine it. I tried to do that a couple times. So because I called the Quest number, which is private and Nevada.gov. Home means Nevada. Enter account number. So we'll see.
Wait a minute. Hold on. We're going to put $3 on it, right?
Well, it has $3 something change.
All right, go ahead and run your card again.
Thank you. And it asked me for the password, and it's a mixture of some of our birthdays. I mean, what are you going to do? EBT Snap. Don't look at my password. I'm just kidding. I don't point at people. What does that mean? Should I just pay for it this time?
Yeah.
They'll do anything under the auspices of, and they like any attention I give them. On RTC schedule, there's good and bad drivers. Who is the boss of RTC? Mayor Shelley. So as always, it's the same old generic stalkers. USPS, it's a Sunday, and Street Taco, the same truck. So, I mean, I didn't act out, but I went like this, okay? And we're in, the city of Las Vegas's mayor's district. Street tacos on a Sunday? Do any of the good Mexicans who make them get more money? How's our fuel, gas, water for your street tacos, Mayor Berkeley? And of course, our bridesmaid, or one of them was each other's bridesmaids, our U.S. Congresswoman, only in District 1, Dina Tightass. She's from Georgia, and she is a member of St. John the Baptist, Greek Orthodox only cathedral and or church right here, birthplace of Christianity in Las Vegas, Clark County in Nevada. Is Mayor Shelley Berkeley, the city of Las Vegas, Mayor Shelley Berkeley, going to resign anytime soon, just like Anchorage Mayor at the time, Ethan Berkowitz, had to in October 2020, not because of me? Of course not. Is it Mayor Berkeley or Mayor Berkowitz or just Mayor Burke? There's good Dems, there's evil Dems. There's good conservatives, and then there's, evil conservatives. Pick your politics. Reporting live Sunday, May 17th. Happy Athens birthday eve of his 3rd birthday. I'm Maria Athens, right here in downtown Las Vegas on Fremont Street and Ware, Maryland. It's an exciting corner. Now, I did interview a lawyer, or I did the stand up here from over there, and I matched right here. I had a teal dress on. I'd actually gotten that at the Sears in Anchorage, Alaska, at the Sears Mall, and I had on pearls. It didn't look perfect, and it looked like I had bags under my eyes, but I didn't. I put a lot of effort in that. And of course, the copy and I will roll down here. She walks sometimes when we lived at Fremont 9 and up and the whole thing. Now, as we know, I'm going to Stewart Arms Strong. Thank you. Even AC. I love you, Maxine! I love you, Maxine! I love you, Maxine! Kalo Sabato Kyriako! So that went well, relatively speaking, and if I can remember, I was so thankful to be in here. I was sitting here very skinny, cross-legged, smoking cigarettes, just staring at this, and all of these people, places, and things kept passing me. So, I mean, it's still around, but it's better, right? And you can't illegally, as you know, if someone's in their rental home or they own it, can't illegally listen to everything they do and AI it or whatever and change it. I don't use the word creepy. It's very disheartening and, it makes me nervous, but I know I haven't done anything wrong or said anything wrong. Who wants to come eat with me and all of your sick shit? And really, what a difference. So in November, I got in here November 7th, 2025, as some of us know that actually care and don't care. They're totally jealous and illegal too. And I went to that Albertsons and with my food stamp card, and I bought these, and other food was tainted. But I don't think it's necessarily Albertsons' fault. And perception is reality, and everything has some truth to it. I was intoxicated too, and I was saying things, about myself and other people that, I just wouldn't ever say, right? And I returned some of it. And like I said, I was way too skinny and my short hair and everything to fit their illegal criminal narrative. And they haven't stopped, but I guess it's getting better, but it only takes once. Out there on the street, Fanta strawberry, Fanta, and a shooter, empty, on the road on Bruce. For what? I guess people drink whiskey or vodka or gin or Hennessy or whatever that was, or Bailey's, and then drink strawberry soda before or after, but it's not carbonated. It's a lot of litter, though. I love Tapatio, and I haven't had it since I was home in July, almost like January. So, and like I've always said since about middle school, if I had to pick one genre of food to only eat for the rest of my life, it would be Mexican. And a lot of people don't like that. Now, if you're a full-fat vegetarian, not bragging or anything, my stomach and more, it's all the food groups you need. Carbohydrates, protein, fruit, vegetables, grains. For example, I like black bean and cheese burrito with brown rice, guacamole, sour cream, salsa, cheese, jalapenos, and the whole thing. Now, Chipotle, I used to say, was my favorite restaurant. That's a fast. But for the last 2.5 years, it tasted like shit, and I told Scott Centers that. It really changed. At least my orders. And the day before I had my big fat Greek confessional right here at St. John the Baptist on Hacienda on June 3rd, 2025. In a couple weeks, it will be a year anniversary. The day before, I went to Chipotle right there on Paradise and Flamingo, and I sat outside and was just thinking about what I was going to say. But I didn't pre-plan it or anything, and I was really busy because Kalamata Gatula and I did the story early to send to KPVM before confessional. It was about 4.5 hours, and it was scheduled at 9:30. Now, when I emailed Father John Hondros, he wrote me back in 7 minutes and said he was out of Vegas, but he could meet me that next week. It was a Tuesday, I think.